Class 7, Maths, Chapter 15, Visualizing Solid Shapes. Animated Math, Introduction, Plane Figure and Solid Shapes. In this chapter, we shall classify figures based on their dimensions. We know that normally all things around us have length, breadth and height. For example, pencil box, table, chair, etc. We also know that figures drawn on paper have only length and breadth. That means they are two-dimensional. For example, square, rectangle, triangle, hexagon, etc. Now onwards in this chapter, we shall call the two-dimension and three-dimension as 2D and 3D. Faces, edges and vertices. Let us recall faces, edges and vertices which we have studied in earlier classes. Let us revise these with the figure of cube. The 8 corners of a cube are its vertices. The 12 line segments that form the skeleton of the cube are its edges. The 6 flat surfaces that are the skin of the cube are its faces. Nets for building 3D shapes. Activity 1. Take a cardboard box. Cut the edges to lay the box flat. You have now the net for that box. A net is a sort of skeleton outline in 2D, which when folded results in a 3D shape. In this case, we got a net by suitably separating the edges. Let us see if the reverse is possible. Here is a net pattern for a box. Copy and enlarge it and try to make a box out of it using a glue stick. This box so formed is a solid. It is a 3D object with the shape of a cuboid. Similarly, we can get a net for nearly every 3D shape. Drawing solids on a flat surface. We draw on a paper which is a flat surface. When we draw any solid shape, it looks a little distorted. To make them appear 3D is a visual illusion. Let us learn 2 techniques which can help us in this. Oblique sketches. Here is a picture of a cube. It gives a clear idea of how the cube looks like when seen from the front. You do not see certain faces. In the drawn picture, the lengths are not equal, as they should be in a cube. Still, you are able to recognize it as a cube. Such a sketch of a solid is called an oblique sketch. How can one draw such sketches? Let us attempt to learn the technique. We need a squared, lines or dots paper. Initially practicing to draw on these sheets will later make it easy to sketch them on a plain sheet, without the aid of squared lines or dots. Let us attempt to draw an oblique sketch of a 3 × 3 × 3. Each edge is 3 units cube. Step 1. Draw the front face. Step 2. Draw the opposite face. Sizes of the faces have to be the same, but the sketch is somewhat offset from step 1. Step 3. Join the corresponding corners. Redraw using dotted lines for hidden edges. It is a convention. The sketch is ready now. In the oblique sketch above, please note the following. The sizes of the front faces and its opposite are same, and the edges, which are all equal in a cube, appear so in the sketch, though the actual measures of edges are not taken so. You could now try to make an oblique sketch of a cuboid. Remember, the faces in this case are rectangles. Note, you can draw sketches in which measurements also agree with those of a given solid. To do this, we need what is known as an isometric sheet. Let us try to make a cuboid with dimensions 4 cm length, 3 cm breadth and 3 cm height on given isometric sheet. Isometric sketches. Have you seen an isometric dot sheet? Such a sheet divides the paper into small equilateral triangles made up of dots or lines. To draw sketches in which measurements also agree with those of the solid, we can use isometric dot sheets. Let us attempt to draw an isometric sketch of a cuboid of dimensions 4 × 3 × 3, which means the edges forming length, breadth and height are 4, 3, 3 units respectively. Visualizing solid objects. Here are some activities you could try in your free time to help you visualize some solid objects and how they look. Take some cubes and arrange them as shown in the figure below. Now ask your friend to guess how many cubes there are when observed from the view shown by the arrow mark. Try to guess the number of cubes in the following arrangements. Such visualization is very helpful. Suppose you form a cuboid by joining such cubes. You will be able to guess what the length, breadth and height of the cuboid would be. Examples: if two cubes of dimensions 2 cm by 2 cm by 2 cm are placed side by side, what would the dimensions of the resulting cuboid be? Solution: when kept side by side, the length is the only measurement which increases. It becomes 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 centimeters. The breadth is equal to 2 centimeters and the height is 2 centimeters. Viewing different sections of a solid. Let us see how an object which is in 3D can be viewed in different ways. One way to view an object is by cutting or slicing. We know that loaf bread is a cuboid in shape and has square faces. When we slice it with a knife by giving it a vertical cut, we get several pieces as shown in the diagram. Each piece is square in shape. This face is known as cross-section of the whole bread. We can even try these on different items in adult supervision. Another way is by shadow play. Shadows are a good way to illustrate how 3D objects can be viewed in 2D. Activity: shadow play. For this activity, we need a source of light and a few solid shapes. First, let us keep a cone in front of a torch light. We can see that the shadow which we cast on the screen is of a triangle. That means we have viewed a 3D object with a 2D view. We can repeat this activity for many other objects. A third way is by looking at it from certain angles to get different views. One can view an object generally from three main views. They are front view, side view, and top view. For example, a house looks different from all these three views.